Well, I certainly wasn't expecting to make this video, but things happen. When a guy sees one of his friends uploading the music from the game he just reviewed that he couldn't talk about the soundtrack of because the OST wasn't anywhere online, I've got to get in on that. Hello, I am Goose. And yes, I'm talking about Manaspark again. I'll make this brief, and this will probably be my last video on the game, but I couldn't not talk about the music now that it's online. Manaspark came out in 2018, but to this day, the official composer hasn't uploaded the music anywhere, at least to my knowledge. And conveniently, the music shows up the same day I upload my video. Coincidence? No, probably not. Anyways, to make up for me not talking about it, I'm gonna go in depth on how the music was made, obtained, its dynamics, and just talking about what I like about the soundtrack in general. Let's get right into it. So, 2018. I was 16 and embarrassing myself like usual, and Manaspark just happened to get released on Steam. A little while, and a Switch port later, people online start asking when the soundtrack is going to be released online. Here was their response. I'd love to, but I'm just swamped with other projects right now. And that's perfectly fine. What, you thought I was going to rag on this guy for being busy? Ha! Get out of here. Anyways, I posted my video, and my friend who asked me to check out Manaspark in the first place, who goes by Golden Weeb, bought the game on Steam the same night and extracted the music. How did he do it? Well, I'll let him explain it himself.
Hey there, I'm Golden Weeb. If I'm being honest, getting Manaspark's music files directly from the game wasn't really that hard. All I really did was right-click on Manaspark, and that's where I found all the local files. That's when I noticed a bank file called music. Now, I didn't know what a bank file was, so I had to look it up online. And then using a bank file on encoder, I don't know what it's called actually, extractor I guess. Just using that, I followed the steps that, like the guide and everything that came with it online, and just looking at the process here, it was actually really easy. The bank loader thing came with a script that you have to use to open the actual music file, and in order to not like corrupt anything, I made a copy of the bank file from the actual game itself. I just copy pasted it into the folder with all the encoder and everything. So I just made a new folder on my desktop, that's where all the music is. It gave me a file called 0000000FSB. And so after that, put the FSB exit thing, the actual loader thing, drag the file that was extracted, shift click, there you go. Shift right click and then open PowerShell window. You gotta type FS, you tab, and then you 0 tab, press enter. And it starts extracting all the music files as WAV files. And as you can see, everything is coming out. And yeah, that's just basically my process in getting all the music from Manaspark.
After that, he posted the music from the game on his channel in one big playlist for anyone to listen to. So if you start hankering for Manaspark music, check it out on his channel.
Okay, your time is up. Back from Wednesday you came.
Anyways, time to get into the music now. The soundtrack of Manaspark consists of 14 songs, and they have a very special quirk to them. They end up sounding like almost different songs under the right circumstances. Dynamic drum beat aside, the music in this game can go from sounding solitary and calm to bustling and tense on a dime. Let me talk about how I feel about each song on the soundtrack, starting from the beginning. The Bravura Encampment has a clarinet playing a melody that, to me, feels kinda sad, which reflects where the story is at that point. This encampment is a refuge for the human slaves that have escaped their owners and are gathering forces to try and overthrow the wielders of mana, which is why there's a hopeful, more positive bit a little bit into the song. This is probably my favorite track on the OST, and I love how it's an extension of the main theme, just in a more subtle manner. Moving on to Wolfsbane Woods. This music is very timid and quiet, at least compared to the other songs in the game. It gets you into the swing of things and into the mood of the game, since it's the beginning area, of course. Pretty standard stuff, which I've come to say frequently in these videos. Something interesting I want to note is that this apparently wasn't in the files anywhere. Golden Weeb just said that he posted what he found, and I asked him about this track and said he didn't see it, which is intriguing to say the least. Moving on, when in the buried tunnels, the music gets the message across to where you are. Buried tunnels. But then the music fills in the gaps that the simple pixel art leaves in your head. Gets you thinking and complicating the tunnels, visualizing them in real life, thinking about what could be down those tunnels. Then the drums kick in and you know you're in for trouble. After the buried tunnels is the Aberrations Chambers, an entirely new feeling. A sense of dread sets in as you hear the ominous song playing while you wander the glowing hallways filled with horrific mutated humans, resulting from countless mana experiments. And the combat version only makes it more sinister. I was debating talking about the DLC, but I'll do it anyways. The Forgotten Crypts feels less sinister, at least at the start, but the music certainly kicks itself into high gear as the Crypts reveal their long-forgotten secrets to you as you go deeper and deeper into them. Then, there's the boss music. It's a good first listen, but it gets kind of grating once it gets later into the song. I like the piano at the start, but I just tie this song to a few of the annoying bosses that I had to bear through to finish the game. It's a fine song, I'm just a little biased towards it. Can't forget the credits theme. That one's a delight too. The plucking of the strings in that curious and excited manner made the somewhat lackluster ending feel more bittersweet than just bitter. As I mentioned in my review, the game's music has a drum beat behind it if you are fighting in a room with enemies, and will fade away if you either clear out the enemies or just leave them alone for a while. And when you approach a peculiar room, the music gets muffled for as long as you're in that room, as if you found a secret. At first, I thought it was just 3 separate tracks, the bass track, one for the battles, and one for the peculiar rooms. But apparently that's not the case. According to Golden Weeb, the drums and the muffled effect are just their own little thing, and it gets added on and removed when needed, which is certainly interesting. The muffle of the peculiar room? Okay, I can understand how that's an effect, but the drums are so distinct from anything else in the game sound-wise. It feels like they're deserting of their own track. I think it would be neat to have the bass song, drum version, and peculiar room version separately on the OST, so people who prefer one or the other can listen to the one they want, but that's just me being nitpicky. In conclusion, the music in Manaspark is something I wish I looked into when writing my initial review. The story doesn't go too deep, but it's a story nonetheless, and one I wanted to share after hearing how good the music in this game really is. And although the actual game isn't a masterpiece, I can safely say that I love the music. Also, main theme good. Hey, subscribe! To both me and Golden Weeb. He's got some good stuff to watch, take it from me. Other than that shout out, that's all I've got to say. Like and comment, I guess. Do whatever you want. Anyways, my name is Goose. I thank you very much for watching, and have a Happy New Year. Whenever that is. Now go away.